That was great. Now, for people who aren't familiar with our teaching, treatment is another word we use for prayer. And so,
What?
And so it's like pray and then move your feet. Because if we don't act as if our prayers are coming true, then the Spirit can't do much with us. So treat and move your feet. Here we are at the end of 2018, and my goodness, look at this full space.
Yay!
Hello! Okay, so we are seriously in need of a larger space.
True.
Now, Mary and I have looked at a couple of spaces that are not appropriate for us, and we have a realtor looking for us, but I have a feeling it's going to come in some magical way. And also, Leanne is going to do some calling around to other churches and centers and see if they are ready to move out of their space so that we can move in, or something like that. So if there's anybody who would like to help her with that, talk to Leanne or I, because we need to get this going.
We do.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, well, here we are at the end of 2018, and it's a whole new year, never been experienced before.
Wow.
And it is right in front of us. It contains promise and opportunity. It contains whatever we want to bring into it. It's going to be a magical year. Now, I don't hear this as much anymore, but back in the olden days, in the last century, it seemed that the week before New Year's, people were always busy making their lists of resolutions.
Oh, yes.
And sometimes the lists got pretty long. Well, I found a few cartoons about resolutions that I thought you might be interested in. Now, the first one shows a couple of whales swimming. And one of them says, my New Year's resolution is to lose 38,000 pounds.
Oh, dear.
And then we have Maxine. And Maxine says, I resolve to be just a little bit nicer to people who do exactly what I want. And finally, with some praying hands, we have, Dear God, my prayer for 2019 is a fat bank account and a thin body. Please don't mix it up like you did this year.
That's great.
Resolutions, we don't do them as much anymore. Our theme for December is Gifts of the Season, and our topic for today is the gift of letting go. There is a magnificence in you. There is a greatness. There is Godness that has decided to show up on this planet at this time as each one of you. It's amazing. And absolutely, that's what you're here for. Now, when we cover that up with other stuff, then we're not as easily able to express our magnificence. Whatever you call it, there's this God life, this source, this magic, this life. It's what we're about with the candles. It's what we're about with our mission and our vision. And I imagine that that's the part of us that decided to come into life as a human being at this time on the planet. So imagine yourself, here you are, a soul waiting to come into life. Before you're born, what do you think you wanted to come into life for? Why did you want to be here? What kind of life did you want to have? Well, now, I suspect that most of us, if not all, wanted to come into a world that is filled with love, is filled with success and abundance, that is filled with caring and respect, that is filled with all of these wonderful things, that is filled with the opportunity to have great ideas and then see those ideas come into fruition. Maybe as inventions, maybe as challenges to be overcome, but to be able to come in with some thoughts and ideas and create our reality. And then we were born and took on other stuff. We forgot who we are. Mm-hmm. We took on the ideas and the thoughts of our families and our teachers and our churches and our relatives and the music we heard and the movies we watched and the TV that we saw. So many ideas came in. And it seems that we were able to kind of cover up some of that greatness. I mean, we'd forgot that that's who we are. And yet, that is still the truth. So what if we were able to let go of that stuff? Some of those feelings, because some of the feelings that we picked up were feelings of not enoughness. Mm-hmm. I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not fill in the blank enough. And what would happen if we could let go of some of that? Now, I don't know that we could let go of all of it. Wouldn't that be a different world? Amazing. But even if we could let go of some of it, it would be amazing, because that's the sort of stuff that is holding us back. Now, the end of the year, this time of promise and letting go is a great time to do our letting go. To let go of what no longer serves us, mm-hmm. so that we can open up to the newness of the year. Not necessarily with resolutions, but just with that feeling of newness. I mean, we get new calendars, well, except those of us who just use the calendar on our phone. But new calendars, and because the days are getting longer, and we can feel, can't you just feel that already, that the days are getting a little longer?
Yes.
And so it makes us ready to move into new stuff. It makes us ready to say, okay, I'm ready for a fresh start. And so that can bring us back to our place of remembering who we are. Remembering our magnificence. Because I want all of you to start this year remembering how incredible you are. How incredible you are. So why let go? We let go so that we can be free to experience our magnificence. We let go so that we can be free to be who we have come here to be and live the life that we have come here to live. When we're holding on to stuff, grudges, resentments, unforgiveness, worry, that sort of stuff, the greater aspects of who we are cannot shine through, or cannot shine through nearly enough. And letting go of things like guilt and worry and resentment frees up our energy. Anybody here like more energy to move into the new year? Okay. As we let go of the stuff that we don't need, our energy is freed up. It's freed up to do stuff that we want to do with it. And the end of the year is the perfect time for letting go. We get reminders. People say, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Every time you hear that, I want you to remember that you are starting in the new year as a magnificent expression of the divine, the one and only, uniquely you. So, what can we let go of? I'm going to name a few things. Feel free to speak up if you can think of any. We can let go of fear.
Yes.
Control. I heard some. Okay. Yeah, you may be the only person in the room that needs to let go of control. Because, I don't know. just playing with you. Yeah, we can let go of control. We can let go of trying to get people to do what we want them to do. We can let go of worry. We can let go of angst. We can let go of regrets. We can let go of judgment. Oh yeah, definitely judgment. We can let go of that being irritated at people. We can let go of Grumpiness. Once again, probably no one here. Yeah. No. We can let go of perfectionism. We can let go of the judgment of ourselves and others. Often we're roughest on ourselves. I don't know if that's true for you, but I know it's true for many of us. Maybe we can let go of the idea that we're limited. Limited by, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I'm too whatever.
Yeah.
We can let go of the idea that we need to be limited by anything. Spirit has chosen to come into this life as you, with your body, with your mind, with your desires, with the things that excite you, and the things that you want to investigate and that you're curious about. So we don't need to be judging ourselves harshly. And maybe what we can let go of is the feeling that we don't deserve a life of incredible love and joy and abundance. Maybe we can let go of the feeling that, well, that's for other people, but I don't know if it's really for me because I'm, not quite enough. So what are the gifts of letting go? What are we open to when we decide to let go? When we let go, we experience greater peace. When we let go, we're able to live more fully in the present moment. Because, sometimes our energy can get stuck in the past. Sometimes we get bogged down by failures that we've had in the past, or sometimes even wonderful things in the past, because we might think, oh, I'll never have a love that is as sweet as that first love, or I'll never be as beautiful as I was when I was 20. The things in the past, let's make sure this is on here. The things in the past can drag us down, but by living in the present moment, right here, right now, we have the freedom to make different choices. We have the freedom to do things differently. Earlier, when Karen was talking about treat and move your feet, don't just pray, but pray and then get out there and act on your prayers. Do what Spirit leads you to do, and the results are much better that way. Obviously, we end up with the freedom to remember and express that magnificence that I've been talking about so much and really want you to get. And when we let go, we can consciously choose our future instead of just stumbling into it. We can absolutely choose what we want to create, what we want to walk into for this year, and then we can make it so. Pam Veldevelt said, when we go back into the past and rake up all the troubles we've had, we end up reeling and staggering through life. Stability and peace of mind come by living in the moment. And another way to look at that might be, one of the simplest ways to stay happy is letting go of the things that make you sad. Now, that doesn't mean we don't act in the world. That doesn't mean we don't do what we're called to do. That doesn't mean we don't work to make this world a better place. But it means we don't get bogged down in that. It means that we stop holding on to the past. And this is from Jonathan Lockwood Huey. We stop holding on to the past. Release your regrets about whatever you may have done or failed to do that turned out poorly. Release and forgive others for what they may have done or not done that caused you harm. Declare today, tomorrow, the first of the year, each day to be a new beginning. For you have the ability to create your life. So what do you want to take into the coming year? Think about that for just a minute. What do you want to take into the coming year? And what might be getting in the way of that? Because whatever it is that might be getting in the way of what you want to take into the coming year might be what you want to let go of. Just might be. Maybe say you want more peace in your life. Say that you want to go through each day feeling the presence of the divine. Well, for some people who want that very much, what holds them back is their belief that they can't get up in the morning to pray and meditate. They just can't do it. That limiting belief. If that applies to anyone here, I encourage you to let go of that belief. Let go of the thought that, I just can't do that. Because we can. Spirit will give us all that we need to do what we decide to do, as long as it's something that is, good and healthy and for the good of all. So are you willing to let go and move in a new way, live in a new way? Because that's what's required. Now, sometimes what we need is to let go of the power that our regrets, the power and the angst that our regrets have over us. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but my observation is that we all make mistakes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, that we all, if we could go back and do some do-overs, anybody here have a do-over you would like? Okay, great. I'm not the only one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just one. What was that? Just one. Just one. Okay. All right. Fine. Well, I'm a parent. My two daughters are now right around 50, and my ex-husband and I adopted them when they were about almost 4 and 6 years old. And let me tell you, I have some regrets about how I parented. I didn't know what I was doing, I just had no idea. All of a sudden I had a kid in kindergarten and another one that I didn't know how I was going to walk to school with, and I did some things I regret. I mean, parenting for me wasn't an easy thing. Oh, actually, I've talked to enough parents to know that parenting for anybody
It's not easy.
is not an easy thing.
No.
But I have some regrets. But I have come to have some compassion for myself, to not let those regrets have so much power over me. I mean, I look back and I say, okay, I did the best I could with what I had to work with what I knew at the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, certainly, all these years later, I know a lot more and would be wanting to do it very differently. But we can let go of the power that our regrets have over us by having compassion for ourselves, some understanding, and then we can also let that go out to touch other people. Because we make mistakes, folks. We learn. We absolutely have the opportunity to let go of the power that has over us, and we can let go of our mistakes, learn from them, and they turn into wisdom. Isn't that right? Haven't you found that to be true?
Yes.
Yeah. As we release what no longer serves us, the truth of our being is revealed in greater and greater ways. We get to be of more service. We get to be a more loving presence in our family and in our community and in our workplace and in the world. As we remember who we are, as we let our truth shine, miracles happen. Miracles happen. So, if you're ready to do some letting go, which I think you all are, then under your chair, there's a pin. There's a card with today's affirmation on it. And stapled to the card, there's a little piece of paper up in the corner.
Anybody need one?
Yeah, if anybody didn't get one, we've got some extras. Does everybody else have one?
I want one for later. Please.
Right on the side.
Thank you.
Because we're not going to use any pieces of paper except the little ones that are stapled to the card. And the card you get to take home, of course. You can make notes on it if you want to, and you can use it as your affirmation for the week. But in a minute, I'm going to give you a chance to kind of tune in a little bit to see what it is that your amazing inner wisdom wants to let go of. But then, once you have a sense of what you're willing to let go of, you can write it on the little paper. Okay, let's see. I'm going to let go of some fear. Okay. Now, there may be a lot of things you want to let go of, but you only have a little piece of paper, so you're either going to have to write very small
That's funny.
or turn it over. Right, yeah.
Use the bigger card.
We're not going to use the bigger card for this. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do a burning bowl. Now, this is, of course, for anyone who wants to. There are no rules that say, if you're here, you have to get up and do this, because you don't. It's only if you want to. But we're gonna take our little. Let's see. I don't think I need this now. I'm gonna light this little candle here, the candle with a heart on it. Thank you, Kathy Snyder, for putting hearts on our candles. And what we're going to do is we're going to just bring our papers up, touch it to the flame, and then drop it. We're not going to put it out here. We're not going to wave it around. Touch it to the flame and drop it. Now, fire is an amazing thing. It's transformative. Fire is the sort of thing that, it's not like the other elements, air and earth and water. Fire can't do anything all by itself. It has to have something to burn. It has to have something to burn. But then it releases light, and it releases heat, and smoke, and ash, but it has to start with something else. We have to let go before the flame can take what we are releasing, before the universe can take what we are releasing and give us the energy and the guidance and all that we need to bring forth our newness. Fire represents purification. It seems that there's a power in fire to give determination, to give energy to whatever it is that we're wanting to let go of. Because things get transformed and transmuted. Things never stay the same. Change is always happening. And when we let go of something, we're opening up to make room for something else in our life. And so it's absolutely amazing. Now, the paper that we're using is called flash paper. And it's called that because it burns fast. And just as your paper will burn fast, taking with it whatever it is you want to release, know that in that very instant, just that quickly, the universe is stepping in and saying yes to whatever is next for you, whatever is next for your highest good, for your greatest service, for your most love in the world. So, for right now, close your eyes if it's comfortable for you, and take a deep breath. Imagine the spark of Godness, the flame that lives within you. Feel it. Remembering that it is your truth. Know that this flame that burns within you is the essence of who you are. And it contains all the wisdom you could ever need. Now you can access this wisdom at any time simply by forming a question in your mind and listening for the answer. And so right now, ask that deep source of wisdom what it is that it's time for you to let go of at the end of this year. What is it that you're ready to release so that you can move into more freedom, more joy, more love? What's ready to be released and transformed? And then whenever you get the answer to that, simply write it on that little piece of paper. And then when it feels comfortable for you, just come on up and bring it to the candle. And if anybody wants to burn their paper but doesn't want to get close to the flame, you can simply, pass it to me.
Would you like me to write? Fear and not enough.
A big flame. That's the way Leanne is. And as we do this, we just get to keep knowing that whatever needs to be released is released. Whoa! Okay, honey, it's gone. All of it is released.
Trey.
I'll surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release every fear that blocks my way. With every step I take it in good faith, and I will find myself stronger and kinder and more loving every day.
And I know that as we release, as we let go, as we surrender, all that we surrender is taken by the universe and is transformed, absolutely turned into whatever it is we need for our support as we move into our newness, as we remember our magnificence. And so I know that as each one of us goes through the week, as we celebrate the new year, as we open to the newness, we are reminded again and again and again by Spirit of how blessed we are, how free we are to make our choices, working always to create a world that works, as we are the love within our families, the love within our communities, the peace, the respect within our nation, the hope within our world. And so I absolutely know that as we go forth into this week, we are blessed. All that is released is truly released, and so we walk away without it. We walk away knowing that what we have let go of no longer has to be part of who we are. And so I rejoice in our freedom. I rejoice that we get to go forth having let go of all that we no longer need. And so I know we are blessed. I know that because I have spoken these words, that they are already being acted upon by the law of love, that we get to go forth using what has happened here today to reveal our magnificence, to reveal our truth of love and joy. And so it is.